This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 1253 of Horse Tip Daily, your almost everyday morsel of helpful hints, useful facts, and practical techniques for horse folks. Brought to you today by Kentucky Performance Products. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the Dressage radio show. Show co-hosts Reese Koffler-Stanfield and Philip Parks are joined by Beth Haste from The Horse, of course, to answer a listener question about bit options for a horse that is transitioning from being ridden Western to doing dressage. And we'll get right to our tip after this from Kentucky Performance Products.
The horse that matters to you matters to Kentucky Performance Products. Are you worried about digestive disorders such as colic, diarrhea, and ulcers making your horse sick? Try adding Nalox Advanced to your horse's diet. The ingredients in Nalox Advanced support a healthy stomach, robust microflora populations, and normal gut function, so digestive disorders become a thing of the past. Nalox Advanced is recommended for horses of all ages to maintain a healthy gut and reduce the risk of ulcers, diarrhea, and colic. Why take chances with your horse's well-being? Start your horse on Nalox Advanced today.
We have our expert, Beth Haste from The Horse, of course. We got a great listener question about bitting.
She's riding an 8-year-old Clyde Hackney, schooling at training level. She's owned him for a year and a half. The horse was previously trained Western. So she says that he hides away from any sort of contact, not taking the bit as much as she'd like. I think he's a little bit behind the bit. And he's going in a medium thickness egg butt snaffle. So do you think, what do you think about this situation that we've got?
I personally think the egg butt is a good choice.
Yeah.
I know one thing that, I like copper-based bits. I know they're more expensive, but they warm to the temperature of a horse's mouth. And I like a 3-piece egg butt versus a 2-piece.
Okay.
My choice would probably be either a Springer or a Neue Schule 3-piece egg butt, really small, like a Verdun, and like a 4 3/4. And because it's going to give the horse everything that you can possibly throw at it. And then I would make sure that the horse is moving up, moving over his back, the saddle fits, and keep pushing him more forward. But it will be a bit that's not going to give him too much information. And I think it's a good choice, but I would, if at all possible, if they could go to a copper-based bit. And when I say a copper-based bit, it's got to be 70% copper or better in order to warm to the temperature of a horse's mouth. And a 3-piece, if you can get it nice and small and stabilized in their mouth, is going to be really soft. And the answer with this horse is as soft as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he takes the contact.
That sounds like
Because
good advice.
he's a little afraid of the contact.
Yeah.
Because in Western, he's always been ridden with a curb chain.
Right. So it's a little bit different. So, Beth, I have another
and they
question.
don't take contact.
Right. And so, Beth, I have another question, sort of the other end of the spectrum. If you have a horse that's super strong and wants to pull you out of the saddle, where would you start bitting-wise?
There is a bit that Neue Schule makes, and I don't work for a bit company, but I do admire when they make a nice bit. They make a bit called the Verbinden, and it's really great to get a horse a little bit off pulling you out of the saddle until you can get him a little stronger behind, and he gets a little quicker behind so he can carry himself a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But that Verbinden works in about 20% of the horses, but it's usually horses who are strong to the contact. And it lightens them up a little bit, gives them the idea of where we want them to go. And then, of course, it's up to you to get them a little stronger behind and a little quicker so they can carry themselves a little bit better.
Yeah.
I second that.
Yeah, I've used that bit. Yeah,
too.
that's a good
I
bit.
really like it. Yeah.
I've called Beth
Yeah.
with this very specific question saying, help me, what can I do? And I think it's fun. I mean, I think you mentioned it several times, and that is bidding can help, but it's not
It's
always
not a solution. Yeah, it's not going to fix your problems.
Yeah.
It's
I
also,
mean, it's like a tongue issue. A tongue issue is always a straightness and tension issue.
Mhm.
But once we get that dialogue going, you can be surprised how we can fix the issue.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all a learning. And Beth from The Horse, of course, is fantastic. She is great with answering these questions. You can call her and say, Beth, help, and she will help you.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can take all emails if they want to email me on a question.
Great. Beth, what is your email address? You were right on it. You knew where I was going with that.
Yeah, it's Beth@theHorseOfCourse.com.
Easy.
Fantastic. Well, Beth is an awesome resource, everybody. She's dear to us, and but she really, really can come in handy if you have some issues with your horses. So, Beth, thanks so much for coming on the show, and we look forward to next time.
Thank you so much for having me. Great talking to you both.
Well, there you have it. You can find links to today's guests, as well as heaps more tips at horsetipdaily.com. Make sure to have all of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go by downloading the free Horse Radio Network app for your iPhone or your Android. Just search your app store for Horse Radio Network. Download it today because it's quick, it's free, and it's easy. Or you can subscribe via iTunes. And thanks again to our sponsor for today's show, Kentucky Performance Products. You can find them online at kppusa.com. This is Coach Jen, and I'll be back again soon with another tip. So until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.